E3's right around the corner. Specifically talking about Nintendo. That's on what, Tuesday? I didn't want to do a predictions video, but I kind of wanted to do like a hopes and like kind of a tier list, except not the traditional tier list format, but instead have a tier graph. So this graph goes from, on the x-axis, boring to hype, and then on the y-axis it goes from likely to unexpected. So I have hype and unexpected in yellow. That's kind of symbolizes that those are good. That's the best area for a reveal to be in. And then boring and likely, those are not good. So if something's in this bottom left quadrant, that's not an exciting reveal basically. So yeah, let's start putting these in. So the first thing that I have down here is Nintendo 64 Online, which is something that I've been wanting for a while now. There's still a few Nintendo 64 games that I haven't played that I want to play, and I'm kind of holding out because it's like I don't really want to buy them, and then on any random day like Nintendo 64 Online is a thing, and it's like I just bought it. I kind of had that experience with Link's Awakening, where I bought Link's Awakening DX on my 3DS, and then Link's Awakening Remake happened like 6 months after, and I was just like, damn. But anyway, Nintendo 64 Online. I think it's likely, because I don't think they're just gonna stick with NES and SNES for the rest of the Switch, and they're already just like throwing scraps at us now. Like the last two NES SNES Online updates have just been whatever games. Still don't got Earthbound. Still don't got Super Mario RPG. It's anyway. Nintendo 64 Online. So I think it would be in the. Okay, I think it's likely to happen, but I don't think it's likely to happen at E3. So I'm gonna say unexpected for E3, but not because I think it's gonna happen, but I don't think it's something they really announce at E3. I'm gonna say it's pretty unexpected, so I'm gonna put it right here, and then let's say it's not really hype because it's just N64 games, so it's somewhere over here. I'm gonna say it's kind of close to the middle because I would personally be excited for it, but like it's not, and it's not like extremely boring and unexpected, but it's kind of boring. Got it! Next game, Kirby, and specifically a 3D Kirby game. I don't want another like kind of regular 2D Kirby game, even though I enjoy them. Like I'm looking for a mix-up, so I'm gonna say Kirby 3D, and I think it's likely that we get another Kirby game.
How about this one? I call it Bold and Brash.
And I think if we do, it's fair to say that it would come at E3.
Oh, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
So I'd say it's on the likely side. And I'd be hyped for it if it's a 3D Kirby. So it's somewhere in this quadrant. So I'll put it like right about there. And then in terms of likely, oh wait, we're talking about Kirby 3D though. It's not just Kirby. Okay, I think Kirby is likely, but Kirby 3D is actually kind of unexpected. So we'll say fairly unexpected, not super unexpected, and kind of hype. So like kind of right about there. Maybe a little bit less hype there. All right, Kirby. Well, no, actually Kirby 3D. Yeah. All right, next. Why is it doing this? Okay. Next, Super Mario Odyssey 2. I'm going to say that in general is kind of unexpected for me. I kind of don't think they're going to have Super Mario Odyssey 2. At least, it's like I would love it, but I kind of don't see it happening, even though maybe on the next system, but at the same time, I don't know if they want to separate a direct sequel between systems. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen in general? I feel like they might just do something else with Mario. So I'm gonna say unexpected. And then, so in general, unexpected. But if it were to come, it would come at E3, I think. So I'm gonna leave it. I don't think it gets like a boost in unexpectedness because of E3. So I'm gonna leave it to be fairly unexpected. I don't think it's as unexpected as Kirby 3D, because I don't know. I just don't know if they'll ever actually do that. But it's kind of unexpected. But hype, that would be, yeah, it would be like all the way over here for hype. Because like that's my most, if I could have one sequel to a game that I don't already know about, Super Mario Odyssey 2.
That brother's starving.
Because we already got Breath of the Wild sequel. We know about that, so. Next is Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3, I actually think it's pretty likely to be shown.
You'd think so, wouldn't ya? You'd think so.
I think by this point they have enough to at least show it. So I'm gonna say likely for Bayonetta 3. Because I'm a fan of the Bayonetta series. I think it will be moderately hype. I'm definitely getting it. Oh, no. Let me give it, nah, it's a little bit more than moderately hype. I do like Bayonetta a lot. I'd say it's pretty likely. So I think that's a good spot. It's not quite as hype as something like Kirby 3D for me, because I'm a bigger fan of the Kirby series as a whole, and that's kind of got an unexpected boost, but it's still hype if we see it. Splatoon 3, I'm gonna say that that's just not hype in general, even though I'm a fan of Splatoon. Like, obviously we just saw Splatoon like a few months ago, so that's the main reason why I'm saying it's not really hype. It's kind of like in this quadrant, right? I'm definitely getting Splatoon 3. Love the Splatoon series. Can't wait for Splatoon 3. But like in terms of hype, we just learned about it. You know, we already know it's coming. It's not super hype. It's not this boring though. Like it's put like about there. Like slight lean towards boring. And in terms of likely, where did Bayonetta go? In terms of likelihood, I'd say it's just as likely as Bayonetta 3. Just like a slight boring lean because we just saw it. Like Bayonetta 3 we haven't seen any gameplay of at all, and it's been a super long time, so it's kind of hype. Splatoon 3 we just saw some months ago. Mother 3 Remake is next. That's definitely on the hype side, and it's definitely unexpected. Like some years ago I'd be super hyped for this, like at the same level of like Odyssey 2, but like at this point I'm not quite as hyped. Like I've kind of lost faith, and I don't know, maybe it's the type of thing where it's like if I saw it then I'd be crazy hyped once I see it, but like in my mind right now I'm not really hyped about it. But it's definitely like probably the most unexpected thing here, so I'm gonna put it like at the top of unexpected. And hype, if it's a remake, yeah, that's pretty hype. And it's like it's finally over. We finally got much. So I'll put it slightly ahead of Kirby 3D in terms of unexpected, but not really all that. Also, why is Super Mario Odyssey 2 all the way down here? That is definitely unexpected. I don't know why I put it there. I feel like I might have been talking, but I just mistakenly put it down there. Now we have Donkey Kong. That's likely, I think. But not necessarily like likely absolutely to be here at E3, but I think it's likely to happen. I'm gonna say this is likely, slightly likely, a little bit more than slightly likely, because I think it's gonna happen. We're gonna get a Donkey Kong game, but I just don't know when and if it will be at this E3. So I'll say kind of likely, and if it does happen, that's pretty hype. Though the hype kind of depends on if it's like another retro 2D Donkey Kong, like in the same vein as Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. But if it's something else, and it's still like Donkey Kong Country style, not like original Donkey Kong, and I think there was like a rumor, whatever, that the Odyssey team was making a new Donkey Kong. So like that would be super hype, but don't know if that's true. So I'm gonna say it's about as hype as Kirby 3D. But more likely. Now, Metroid 5. So this will be the 5th 2D Metroid I'm talking about. I think they're gonna do another 2D Metroid, but I don't think it's as likely as Donkey Kong. So I'm gonna say it's unexpected. It's in the unexpected quadrant. And it's definitely hype. It's definitely hype. It's not boring. Like, I'd be...
Bitch, what? Speak. Spit it the fuck out.
I don't know if I'd be more hyped than Kirby 3D. Like, these three are kind of like the same hype level. Actually, no, I'd be slightly less hyped than Kirby 3D because 3D Kirby. Like, this would be another something of what we've seen before, but this would be something new. Kirby 3D would be something new. So, not quite as hype as Kirby 3D. But fairly unexpected. I'd say, like, kind of around the same unexpectedness, but at the same time not quite as unexpected because it is something that they've done 4 times already, plus there are remakes. So we'll say right about there. Metroid Prime 4. So obviously we know this is a thing. We've been hearing all sorts of updates about who's getting hired for it. I'm gonna say that that is likely. That's in the likely category. Let's do that. How likely at this E3? When did they restart development? Let me look it up. That was 2019, okay. So if they restarted it, then I think it's actually unlikely because it's 2021. So it's been like 2.5 years since then. So I'm gonna go a little bit towards unlikely, but like here. Also, these two should be higher. These two should be a little bit more unlikely. Let me raise those up a bit. And Kirby 3D is actually more unlikely than Odyssey IMO. I'm gonna bring Odyssey down a little bit. So Mother 3 most most unlikely, then Kirby 3D, then Odyssey 2, then Metroid 5. Cause like, there's only one. No wait, they could remake Super Metroid. They could remake Fusion. So there are 2 other 2D Metroids they could remake. I'm gonna say Metroid 5 is actually more unlikely than Odyssey 2.
You fool!
I don't know why I put Odyssey 2 quite that high. Bring it down a little bit lower, just a little bit. Alright, Metroid Prime 4. So, unexpected. It's gonna come, obviously, but I don't think it's gonna be at this E3. So I'm gonna say... But it's not as unexpected as Odyssey 2. And then hype. For me personally, I'm mixed on it because, like, I love Prime 1 and Prime 2, but I really didn't enjoy Prime 3 very much. So, like, that experience with Prime 3 has kind of weathered my hype for Prime 4. So, like, I'm kind of neutral on it, like, right in the middle. So I'm gonna leave it in the middle. Super Smash Bros. Character reveal. That's likely, definitely. I'd say I think that's the most likely. I think that's more likely than even seeing Splatoon 3. So that's likely. And it's hype. I mean, it's not crazy hype because, like, we're expecting it. We just don't know who the character is. Like, it really depends on who the character is for the hype. But in general, a character reveal is like, I'd say it's a little bit less hype than Bayonetta 3 finally getting revealed, but super likely. So I'll say it's the most likely. Well, I'm looking ahead a little bit. I'll say it's very, very likely. Probably almost it's extremely likely. Okay, now I have down here remakes of The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages, and Oracle of Seasons. They were Game Boy Zelda games that basically looked just like Link's Awakening, pretty much how they played. So, like, they could take what they made for Link's Awakening and pretty much just reuse it for remakes of Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. So that's something that I really hope they do. I haven't played Oracle of Seasons just because of the possibility that they might do a remake. I think that it's kinda likely that this happens in general, that they do the remakes. I feel like it should be a no-brainer, but like, you know how Nintendo is. So I think it's kinda likely, which means that I think it's kinda unexpected for E3. Well, not only do they have Skyward Sword HD coming out this year, coming out in July, but we're also looking forward to the sequel to Breath of the Wild, which I'm guessing is next year. Seems like it would kind of be weird to have a third, technically four, or technically two more to get to a fourth Zelda game coming up. Like, that's a lot of Zelda. And granted, it is an anniversary, but at the same time, it's the anniversary of a lot of different series. So I'm gonna say it's unexpected for E3. I will say it's more unexpected than Prime 4 because it's not a confirmed thing. And is it more unexpected than Odyssey 2? I'd say I think it's like right around Metroid 5 levels of unexpected. And in terms of hype, it's not as hype as Metroid 5. I think, why did I put Metroid 5 like in the middle here? Like, that's hype. And I think Kirby's a little too far away from the hype end as well. So I think both of those could be a little pushed over. I'm most hyped for Odyssey 2 though. And then, yeah, I think that's right. And then the remakes would be not quite as hype, but like close. So not quite as hype as these two, but pretty close. And the last game, Breath of the Wild sequel. So this is the most likely. I'd say that's even more likely than Smash. Just because we know it's coming. And there's a chance that it could come out this year. I really don't think it will. I don't see why they would release the game this year. And I feel like that would cannibalize on the Skyward Sword sales. Like, I feel like, because the game would come out probably in November or October. And I mean, we already have Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl coming out in November. And I don't think they're going to release Breath of the Wild sequel in December after like Black Friday and such. So I would think if it did come out this year, it would be like early November, probably October, which would be what, 3 months? If it came out in October, it would be 3 months after Skyward Sword came out. Breath of the Wild sequel is coming out in 3 months after Skyward Sword. I think I can wait for Breath of the Wild sequel. Obviously, Nintendo wouldn't want people to react that way. They'd want people to buy both. So I'm gonna say pretty likely to be at E3 and pretty likely to have a release date of next year. And I think that just makes sense. Like, we know Splatoon 3 is coming next year, and we have Breath of the Wild sequel coming next year too. And we basically know like the juggernauts of the year.
I need it!
And the hype of it, it's wait, hold on. Why is Splatoon? I thought I put Splatoon 3 more on the boring side.
Oh, brother, oh.
I think it's not too far off. The hype of it was definitely hype because we haven't seen any gameplay or anything of it outside of that like cinematic trailer. So it's hype. More hype than Bayonetta 3. More hype than Donkey Kong. More hype than the Zelda remakes. I think because it's Zelda, it would be more hype than Kirby and Metroid and Kirby and Metroid and Mother. So it's like super hype. Not quite as hype as Odyssey 2 because Odyssey 2 doesn't even have, there's nothing official about this. So it's more unexpected. Whereas this is like, we're just hyped to see more of it. So definitely hype, but not quite as hype as Odyssey 2. And I think that's everything. So the most unexpected is Mother 3, followed by most unexpected to be revealed at E3 2021. Hold on, and Nintendo 64 Online is a thing that I think is going to happen, so I don't think it's that unexpected. Like, it's not expected to be at E3, I don't think, but it's not that unexpected. I'd say, yeah, all of those things outside of Prime 4 are more unexpected than Nintendo 64 Online. So, Mother 3 most unexpected, followed by Kirby 3D, then Metroid 5 and Zelda Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons remakes are like equally unexpected. Then Odyssey 2, then less unexpected, more likely than that, Nintendo 64 Online, then Metroid Prime 4, then Donkey Kong, and then even more likely than that are Splatoon 3, probably like some gameplay or like a release date or a release season, and Bayonetta 3. I don't know if we would get release. I think we'd get release season for Bayonetta 3. And then Super Smash Bros. is more likely than those. And then the most likely is Breath of the Wild sequel. So what would be the best reveals? Based on this graph, one would be Mother 3 Remake, because it's so unexpected. Still pretty hyped too. Then I'm gonna say Kirby 3D. Kirby 3D would be number 2. Then the third best reveal would be Odyssey 2. Then Metroid 5. Then Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons remakes. This is where it gets tricky. So we got Donkey Kong and Breath of the Wild. Okay, Breath of the Wild is very hype, but also very likely, so it's not really a reveal type deal. It's just what we want to see. I'm gonna go Donkey Kong at 6. So Donkey Kong's the 6th best because it's pretty hype and also a lot more unexpected than sequel to Breath of the Wild. Then Breath of the Wild, basically all hype alone. You know, it's really tricky because we got extremes here. I'm going Bayonetta 3 next. So what is that? That's 8th best reveal or showcase would be Bayonetta 3. Then I'm gonna go Smash. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go Smash Fighter. Then Nintendo 64 Online. Then Metroid Prime 4. And then Splatoon 3.